How's it going, everybody? How are we doing out in YouTube land? I hope everything is all well and good. It we are in on the heels of Royal Rumble, and I think if I remember correctly, this is the 21st Royal Rumble or 22nd Royal Rumble.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
The first one was in 1988. So, are you done typing there, Johnny?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. So, I'm going to put the guys back on here. And there they are. Well, you can kind of see fucking Bobbit, but you kind of can't. It's half on, half off. How you doing, Bobbit?
Pretty good, JP, and it's the 31st, by the way.
Okay, whatever. Shut the fuck up. Anyway.
I just want to make sure
I know. 21st, 31st. And then we also have Johnny. Had going, Johnny?
What's going on, man? I'm doing pretty good.
Well, I just got in the door. We had ran a little longer at the hospital than we expected to, or hospital, I meant doctor's office. Nothing major. And then we had to get her prescriptions. I think we figured out why she's been spitting up constantly. So we had to stop and get her some medication. So that's why we're running a little bit late. And then we have Trexter. How you doing, Trek?
Good. How are you guys tonight?
Good. You ready to talk some Royal Rumble memories?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. That being said, and also, if you guys want to, but you have to give me your Skype name in order for me to add you. We will take a call and get your favorite Royal Rumble memories. So we'll talk for a little bit, and if you want to be added to the call, Bobbit, be paying attention.
Yes, I got you, homie.
No, I'm just paying attention to the chat, so that way you can add them onto your Skype and then add them. Got it?
You got it, homie.
All right.
Although speaking of which, I've actually got a good deal to open up with.
Go ahead.
So, I saw on Twitter that WWE had posted a tweet, and they said who would be considered Mr. Royal Rumble. And they had some names on there. They had like Undertaker, Stone Cold, Kane, The Rock, Roman Reigns. They had some big names on there.
Right.
So I thought I was thinking of like, you know what? That would be a really good question. Who in your guys' mind throughout the history of the Royal Rumble, who do you think really you could say would be a Mr. Royal Rumble?
Andre the fucking Giant. Enough said.
Okay. Bobbit.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. Trek.
Kane.
Why Kane? If you don't mind me asking, I just want to know.
He has the most eliminations, so I think he can make a case for it.
Has he ever won one, though?
Well, that doesn't matter.
I know, but I'm just saying, that's what I think of when I think of Royal Rumbles. That's all I'm saying. And I get it, and that's fine. But
because and the reason why I'm bringing that up is not to say that it's a valid point, but the guy they call Mr. WrestleMania is 6-11 at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yep.
I'm actually going to throw a name out there that realistically they didn't even mention. And he's had some incredible moments in the Royal Rumble. Kofi Kingston.
I can see it.
As you can see, I'm doing this. All he is for a spot, and that's it. That's the only reason.
But
I wouldn't consider him Mr. Royal Rumble.
Well, now wait a minute. The guy has more well-known moments than anybody else in the Royal Rumble. I mean, yes, he's never won, but how many times have you heard people say, "I'm watching the Royal Rumble just to see what Kofi's going to do"?
I'm not. That's why I don't consider him Mr. Royal Rumble or even close, or would even put him on that list. I wouldn't. I don't watch the Royal Rumble. I don't
I
watch the
think it
Royal
was a
Rumble.
big mistake. I think it was a big mistake that they didn't.
Right. What? Put him in the Royal Rumble?
No, that they didn't include him because he needs to be in that conversation.
I can respectfully disagree because for me, he's nothing there to see what fucking he's gonna do. I don't watch the Royal Rumble to see what Kofi Kingston's gonna do. That's me though. If that's the only reason you're watching the Royal Rumble to see what Kofi Kingston's doing, and I'm not saying you are, that kind of takes away the mystique of the Royal Rumble to me. If you're just there to see what Kofi Kingston is going to do.
Well, to be fair, they've kind of already they've ruined it themselves a long time ago.
I know, but that's what I'm getting at. They need to get back to the way it used to be. Not a fucking spot to see if he's gonna feet are gonna fucking land on the ground. If you want to be honest with you, Shawn Michaels is the first one to do that.
Right.
Where his feet, when it's both feet have to touch at the same time. That's my understanding. So really, the only spot he has left to do is land on one foot and hop back into the fucking ring. That's it. No, I mean hop on one foot, like getting thrown out, lands on one foot, but he'd end up breaking his fucking leg doing it because he's done everything else. But that again, it's subjective. It's subjective. To each his own. I'm not going to sit here and shit on it. For me personally, Kofi Kingston, I don't care for Kofi Kingston, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, and two, it goes back. Well, and two, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because you just don't like those style of wrestlers. Period.
I liked Kofi Kingston a while ago. I just don't care for him anymore. I'm not saying I don't like Kofi Kingston. His style of wrestling, I don't mind that bad. I really don't. It's just that he lost his luster. They gave him that push that he had early on in his career, and then they fucking stopped it. And every time they start to give him a push, they back off. That's all I'm saying.
Not only that, but they kind of lost a little bit of its luster when Morrison kind of got knocked off and jumped onto the ring, onto the barricade. So it kind of lost a little bit because Morrison could do what Kofi could do too.
Yeah. But again, I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it. It's to each his own. This is your memories. I mean, it's not mine. It's not one of mine. But I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it. I'm not gonna do that. That'd be facetious because then that's shitting on somebody else's memories, and that's fine. To each his, like I said, it's subjective. Who has the most wins in the Royal Rumble?
Austin. Mm-hmm. He has 3.
How many times has Hulk Hogan won?
2. Same as Orton.
Okay. Did you see at the end of this past show that Randy Orton was holding up the 3 sign?
Yep.
What was your favorite? It doesn't even have to be the Royal Rumble itself, the pay-per-view itself. What was your favorite match in the Royal Rumble?
For me, it was the 92 Royal Rumble because that's when Flair went from 3 to the end. They won the title.
No. Now, you do know, this is a little history on the Royal Rumble. See you later, Ryan. The Royal Rumble didn't start out where the winner faces a champion.
Right.
The very first one was not even a pay-per-view. It was on USA Network, and it was on It was in competition with Starrcade, because Starrcade was happening, I think, that weekend, and they put on the Royal Rumble in 1988. You know who won the first Royal Rumble, Trek?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Mm-hmm. A man that never got a title shot.
Right.
Bob, what about you? Who was your favorite Royal Rumble memory?
The one that John Cena came back after that bicep tear.
2004?
Was that Nassau
Yeah.
Coliseum?
Do what, Heather?
Was that at Nassau Coliseum?
I think it was.
Okay.
And that's the one where he came back from injury, right?
Yeah.
Came back from his shoulder surgery or whatever it was?
Bicep tear, yeah. As he said.
Shut the fuck up over there.
Somebody is really hungry.
I guess.
Get your foot out of my pocket.
Moving on.
And
Johnny, you got any more? Oh, God.
No, that was the only real question I had.
I think mine.
I was working on it. Relax.
Give me a second, guys.
Mm.
Go
Okay,
ahead and
take
talk
time.
amongst yourself.
One of my favorite moments, and I know that they don't like to talk about it on WWE anymore, is when Benoit won. That was a good Rumble.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
2004, I think it was.
I'm trying to think though, because man, as big as the Royal Rumble is, I find that that's one of the match that's the one match that I probably don't remember the most. If
I'm
that makes any sense.
same vote when it comes to that.
Well, when Benoit won?
Like, I don't know. It's kind of odd. It's odd with me. Like Royal Rumble, I don't sit there and deny that I think it was a, it's an interesting match. But for whatever reason, like that's the one. It's the one match to me that is really not that memorable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pick out a few things, but it's not like, going back and watching an Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio match. You know what I mean?
What? I'm sorry. What were you guys just talking about?
Well, what I was saying, because we were talking about like memorable moments in Royal Rumble, and I said the thing with me is I've watched a lot of Royal Rumbles. But I don't really have a lot of moments from them. To me, the Royal Rumble has never really been a very memorable match for me.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble itself, I mean...
Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
If I'm going to be honest with you, my most memorable, it's honestly last year's.
Really?
And I'll tell you why. Because everybody was saying, Shinsuke's not going to win. Shinsuke's not going to win. They haven't pushed him enough. Shinsuke's not going to win. And I fucking called it and fucking just burnt everybody on fucking Twitter that said he wasn't going to fucking win.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I remember more about who won. You might have to remind me the year. But as far as, like cool moments, I mean, I can remember some of the funny moments, like Santino Marella being, the one with the shortest amount of time in the ring. But, like if you were to ask, what was a significant moment in the Royal Rumble? The only one for me that ever comes to mind is when John Cena and Batista went over the rope at the same time, and they actually had to restart the match.
Yep.
But again, that kind of goes back to the ending. And the only other one that I can ever remember is Rey Mysterio, who went the longest in a Royal
Yep.
Rumble.
Right.
And so, but other than that, it really is not that memorable of a match.
It's kind of hard to remember every moment in that match. I do remember probably my favorite Royal Rumble of all time is the one that Shawn Michaels won as number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one where both feet didn't touch the ground?
That's the one where that's where the both feet thing, he touched one foot, he touched the other foot, but both feet never touched the ground at the same time. So
I've never seen that one.
You've never seen that one? You have the network, don't you?
No. I keep forgetting to watch that. I'm going to watch it tomorrow when I'm home.
I've actually, Heather and I, we've been sitting laying, before we go to bed or when we're, getting ready, when we jump into bed, because Wendy apparently loves listening to it. We've watched 88. I've watched the 88 Royal Rumble. 89, we watched 90 last night. I don't know.
We watched 89 and 90.
89 and 90, yeah. 89 and 90. That one, Hulk, and again, you got to remember, Hulk Hogan, that was WrestleMania 5. So Hulk Hogan faced Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yep.
At WrestleMania 5. Hulk Hogan eliminated Macho Man Randy Savage. I think they used to use the Royal Rumble as a storyline where they got a bunch of their storylines from. Like Hogan and Macho Man and the Mega Powers collide. Or the Mega Powers explode or whatever it was.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hogan and Warrior, too, the next year.
Ultimate Warrior won the next year, and then it was title versus title.
Yep.
And I don't even remember who won the Royal Rumble that year.
What year?
1991.
Doesn't remember either.
I think that was Hogan.
No, Hogan was the world champion at the time.
Yeah, but he was in the Rumble, too.
Was he? Okay.
Yep. That's back when they didn't do that number 1 thing. That's before that. Then it was like 2 years after.
1994 was the first year that they did the number 1 thing, because 1992 was Ric Flair.
Yep.
And then 1993 was, I can't remember 93, but I remember 94 was the first year that they had whoever won was the number 1 contender.
And Luger and Hart both went out that year.
Yeah. So, and that whole shit show there's reports out that that's how they're doing the women's fucking match. And if they fucking do that, fuck them. Fuck WWE for even fucking thinking about it. Because now
Go ahead, JP.
No, you go ahead.
It was Yokozuna the year before.
So it was number 1 contender.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Royal Rumbles that I seen, the title was never defended until they actually.
They vacated it.
Well, no, at 93, they had it. The title really wasn't defended, but it was
a vacated title.
It was a vacated title, and then the very next year, I don't know if was the title defended. Bret Hart was champion then, wasn't he?
I think so.
Or was Hulk Hogan?
He faced
Now,
Yokozuna.
they have defended the title at the Royal Rumble in the match.
Yeah,
It has been done.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, Roman Reigns did it.
Roman Reigns, and that was it. I mean, the title wasn't really defended. It was vacated, and they fought over the title. That's the year Ric Flair won, which was 92.
Yep.
Yes, he tore his quads in 2005, and that's the time that they had to restart the match. John Cena and Batista.
I think, I mean, is that kind of an inherent problem, though, with the Royal Rumble, that it really doesn't have, like, because I know for me, like, the things that I remember most from Royal Rumble is, like, winners and surprise entrants.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the same way as you, Johnny. One moment that stands out in my head the most was when AJ Styles debuted in 2016.
Yep.
Right.
Who debuted in 2016?
AJ
AJ
Styles.
Oh,
And see, even then, and like especially in the past few years, they've really had some subpar surprise entrants, in my opinion. I mean, they've had some good ones.
I mean, last year was Rey Mysterio, but as you know, I don't care for Rey Mysterio, so
And the Hurricane too.
yeah, that guy can fucking go piss up a
Yeah.
fucking rope.
Hey, fuck you. That's my kin.
I'm sorry, dude. After what that fucker said to me on fucking Twitter, he can go fucking suck a dick. I don't care.
No, I've heard he's a douchebag anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's some. I mean, the Royal Rumble is one of my favorite pay-per-views, but again, the Royal Rumble match itself has never really been one of those matches because there's 30 participants. I mean, the greatest Royal Rumble had 50 participants, but I don't even consider that a fucking pay-per-view. To me, that is a goddamn live show that they just threw together and did over in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
The greatest Royal Rumble to me was the 40-man Royal Rumble, the one that Alberto Del Rio won. That had 40 participants, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Which kind of ruined the gimmick of 30 men, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this kid is just...
And it made it sped up too because it was originally like 30 man, 2 minutes, and it was 90 seconds. For the biggest one, it was like 60 seconds.
Say it again, Trek.
It made it sped up a little bit too, which I didn't like because the first Royal Rumble was 2 minutes, and then after that was 90 seconds, and then the biggest one, the 40-man one was like a minute between each two, which is it didn't feel as special. It just felt like they were rushing.
Well, they had to get 40 guys in the fucking ring,
Yeah.
and they only had an hour.
Oh yeah.
So I don't get what you mean by that.
Oh no, it just felt like it was sped up.
Well, it kind of had to be. They had to put 40 men in the fucking ring.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
The 90 seconds, I don't mind it. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't consider. There's a debate out there that the men's Royal Rumble wasn't as good as the women's Royal Rumble was. I thought they were both about close to being even, to be honest with you. They were both pretty good matches.
You done?
It kind of teased, oh, we're going to put Roman over again, fucktards.
Yep.
And then they had Shinsuke win it at the end. Asuka won the inaugural Royal Rumble, and look at where she is now. She is now the champion. Yep. She's taking on Becky this Sunday. And there is one thing that I do want to talk about in the Royal Rumbles is the way that they used to do it is you did not, if you were a number one contender and lost, you did not get a title shot unless you were fucked. And what I mean by that is a fuck finish.
Mm-hmm.
Like a disqualification that was not your fault. Then they threw you into the Rumble. I'm of the old banter where if you lose clean, you should not get a shot at the Royal Rumble. Now, essentially, that's what they're going to do with Becky Lynch. If she loses clean, they're going to Roman Reigns her ass.
Which is a little bit scary, if you ask me.
It is, and I agree 100%. And so help me God, if fucking fans are fucking... Because if she gets put in the fucking Royal Rumble, you're a hypocrite if you cheer for her.
Oh,
Because essentially you're fucking saying... Oh, damn. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure you yelling because you're getting excited.
Even Wendy doesn't like the idea of it.
Nah, she's hungry for some reason. No, she's eaten like 8 ounces in like the last hour.
Well, maybe she might. I don't know.
She shouldn't be. Because we fed her on the way home.
It's only 2 ounces she ate, though.
That's true. So if they put Becky, you all are fucking hypocrites if you cheer for Becky, because they did the same thing with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And everybody booed him, which
Well,
is essentially because they're just going to push and push and push and push and push for Becky. So, yeah.
Well, you know, I just find it funny with the again. It goes back to what I've been saying for probably the past 2 months now. The thing that I liked about last year's Royal Rumble, it was a new face that got pushed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I liked about it. And that's what got me interested. I mean, yeah, well, you remember the whole time we were talking about it, I was interested in seeing the AJ versus Nakamura match. In fact, I told everybody I wasn't going to watch the Wrestle Kingdom match because I didn't want to go in there with expectations. I wanted to see it for myself for the first time, so that way I could go back and watch the Wrestle Kingdom match and appreciate it more.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It
But
did.
what we're having now, I don't see how anybody can actually say that there is realistically change right now anyway, because it's the same people at the top.
Mm-hmm.
That has been my biggest complaint for a long time now. It's the same people at the top.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, but they had Stone Cold win it all the time. They had Rock win it. Who else
Hogan.
did they have? Well, Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Well, yeah. But there wasn't anybody else in the fucking WWF at the time that could beat Hulk Hogan, though. I mean, I'm sure there was, but...
You had the Undertaker there at the same time. That's Hulk Hogan.
Is the Undertaker? The Undertaker's never won a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah, he did. He won 1980 or 1997 Royal Rumble.
John Cena.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is an established star. What Johnny's saying is a non-established star getting a push. Like a Cesaro winning. John Cena was already at the top when he won his Royal Rumble. He was coming back from an injury. Triple H, the same thing. People say, well, Triple H was at the top when he came back. He was coming back from an injury. But, like, having Finn Balor win it last year would have been good. Or having Finn Balor win it this year would have been good. But I think he might beat Brock Lesnar someday. I'm hoping. Because if not, they fucking ruined Finn Balor, and they pretty much ruined everybody else on the fucking main roster. There's nobody that can beat fucking Brock Lesnar. You might as well keep the fucking title on him and wait until he fucking leaves.
Well, like I said, what were we talking about? Good example. I mean, what were we talking about, last week? I'm of the opinion they ruined it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I get it. Finn Balor, I get it. Finn Balor, it's exciting. It's okay. It might be a step in the right direction. I'm sorry. I love Finn. I think he's a great wrestler. He's not believable to me. Nobody has been believable since they pretty much buried Braun.
True.
Braun, I know a lot of people are kind of like, well, Braun's really not been ready. Braun Strowman was the most realistic person to have beaten Brock Lesnar. Because the thing is there have been other people that have beaten Braun that you could have sat there and went, okay, that's a believable. Hell, he lost to Kalisto one time.
Yeah.
I mean, but they always made him look strong. So for me, it's like, okay, I get it. I get the excitement. I do hope Finn wins. It's a step in the right direction. I'm sorry he's not believable.
Right. Well, I mean, essentially, I think what they're going to do, if Finn Balor wins, they're going to move on from Brock. Brock's not going to even get a rematch or anything. And then they'll make Finn Balor believable because they'll put him in matches with Seth Rollins and guys like that are believable. Braun Strowman should not be anywhere near the title picture right now.
No, I do agree with that.
So you got to build the guy back up. I mean, Braun Strowman is just whatever. Let's see. Really hasn't. I mean, as far as Royal Rumble matches, singles matches, probably for me, really isn't any. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you, because everybody looks forward to the Royal Rumble match. The best finish of the Royal Rumble, and everybody's gonna be like, huh? Was Vince McMahon beating Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, I agree with that.
The best finish, because it led to an actual in-ring match between Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, which was the big blow-off at St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Right. No, I can agree to that.
Bobbit, what says you? Best finish ever, as far as Royal Rumble.
Oh, it's a two-way tie between the one you said and Shinsuke winning last year.
What about Asuka winning?
Well, yeah, that too.
Well, Jesus Christ.
I figured that would have been a little too obvious.
True. What about you, Trexter?
The one where Benoit won.
I'm sorry. Can you speak English? What?
The one where Chris Benoit won by holding on to the whole of Big Show until he finally got him over the top rope was my favorite.
Do you think? Okay. I like that finish. That was a good finish. Johnny, but you're gonna go with the one that I went with.
Yeah.
Unless you got another one that's out there.
Not really.
Okay. Nice. Heather, what about you? Favorite Royal Rumble match? Or Rumble finish, I should say.
Shawn Michaels winning from number one.
Shawn Michaels winning from number one. That was a good finish, too. I don't remember how that match finished.
I don't remember either.
But I do know that's where that whole both feet have to touch at the same time. Because if I remember right, wasn't fucking Jesse? Wasn't Jesse the Body Ventura the color commentator for that?
I believe so, and I believe
I
the
think he
stipulation for the
was.
end of that was a date with Pamela Anderson.
Yep. Well, she walked him down to the ring or something like that. I can't remember for WrestleMania, but then that's where he came down on the zip line, I think. Undertaker winning in 2007. Did Undertaker win the Royal Rumble in 2007? It was 97,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
No, it was 07. 97 was Austin. Or 97 was Austin, but there was controversy.
Okay. And then 2007, who did he beat?
Shawn Michaels.
Okay. Okay. Let me see. one more question, and then we'll just move on from Royal Rumble. Trying to think of how to word this. Least over superstar to win the Royal Rumble. Track?
I would say Sheamus.
I don't know. He was pretty over then. But yeah, I could see him. Heather?
Roman Reigns.
You think Roman Reigns?
He was the least over.
I
Yeah.
think
That was the Royal Rumble with Daniel Bryan.
Okay, so the least popular superstar to win it. So what I mean is the guy that you would never expect to win the Royal. See, it was hard for me to word that because everybody say fucking Roman Reigns because the fucker's not over.
I still say Roman Reigns. I still say Roman
No,
Reigns.
I guess the guy that you never expect to win a Royal Rumble.
Roman Reigns.
You knew he was going to win the Royal Rumble in fucking 2015 or 14. Come on, man.
I'm talking about the first one.
You knew he was going to win it. Track?
Probably Alberto Del Rio then.
No, he was liked. Even though he was a heel, he was liked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know about his off-screen personality.
Yet. Bobbit, what about you?
Jeez, that's a hard one for you to answer. I want to say Shinsuke.
No,
He was liked.
he was popular.
I know, but yeah.
What I'm trying to say is the least popular, a guy that you
Somebody
would
like the
never
Miz.
expect to win, like fucking Gilbert, fucking wins the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that'd be the greatest moment of my life.
Well, I imagine it would be, but that's kind of, I'm not talking that low on the fucking totem pole. Not the excrement on the boots, but the fucking, somebody like that. I'll come back to you.
Probably Luger.
Luger?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't, okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He won a Royal Rumble, even though it wasn't for a title shot.
Right.
He wasn't always the most popular. He's somebody I never expected to win the Royal Rumble. And he did. Funniest moment in the Royal Rumble.
Bushwhacker coming in and going right back out.
That is my funniest moment. The Bushwhacker coming in, fucking gets clotheslined out, and he fucking...
Actually, I saw one today and it reminded me of it, but it was pretty damn hilarious. The one where Santino Marella takes himself out of the Royal Rumble.
I don't remember that.
That one was pretty funny.
Bobbit, what about you?
Yeah, probably Santino eliminating himself.
Trek, what about you?
It's not really a funny moment, but when was it the Warlord got in the
You're
ring?
asking
He's like,
the
busts
wrong
his
damn
chest,
person
and
about
like,
humor.
You're right.
and then
Who?
because like the Warlord, it was either the Warlord or Barbarian, where he got in and Gorilla Monsoon goes, "There's the beef," and then he gets knocked out. He goes, "There goes the beef."
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I told you, you're asking the wrong person to come up with what's a funny moment.
Okay, who did I say who? No, a moment. Who won the Royal Rumble, but you would least expect them to win the Royal Rumble? That was the question. A person like Zack Ryder, Ryan, would be somebody that everybody would be like, probably, oh my God, that guy just won the Royal Rumble. I would never, ever expect that. I would never expect it.
I believe he did win a Rumble. Didn't he try?
No.
Nah.
No, he's never even come close. All right, talk to you later, Ryan.
I'd still say Roman Reigns.
He can't use that.
Yes, I can, and I just did. So fuck off.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
He's the most popular guy in WWE. So of
I
course you
don't give
can't
a
say
shit.
that. You may not think he is, but everybody else knows he is. I'm
Well,
just saying.
I will live if I am in such denial. I will gladly live in my fucking denial. Hey, if you can shit on fucking cruiserweights and Rey Mysterio and all that, I can fucking shit on Roman Reigns not being a believable Royal Rumble winner. So, man.
You can't say that. He won the damn thing.
I said he was the least likely to win.
You knew he was going to win it in 2004.
No, I
You
didn't.
can't say that.
Bryan.
You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
No, you
I
can't.
just did.
Well,
What are you
you're
going to do
wrong.
about it? Nothing.
You're wrong.
I know, dude. You're dead loud.
Let me see. The most serious moment from the Royal Rumble. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns. Here's the thing about that, and I've been wanting to talk about that, and we never got to it. Everybody shits on fucking Roman Reigns because Daniel Bryan didn't win the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan did not get eliminated by Roman Reigns. Daniel Bryan got eliminated before Roman Reigns even got in the fucking ring. So for all you fucking people shitting all over fucking Roman Reigns for winning it that year, Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the fucking ring at the time. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Now, it's fucked up that WWE fucking didn't have Daniel Bryan in the match and win it because it probably would have worked.
It's part of the Final Four.
At least part of the Final Four. But for everybody sitting there shitting on Roman Reigns for him eliminating, he didn't eliminate Daniel Bryan. In fact, Bray Wyatt eliminated Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
I watched that, and I'm sitting there, how come I thought Roman Reigns eliminated him? Because I didn't see Daniel Bryan in there, and next thing I know, that was weird. It was weird. That's pretty much all I have. I mean, it's hard to specifically discuss one moment from the Royal Rumble. Or the match itself, because there's 30 guys in the match. I mean, one of the cooler moments was the first woman in the Royal Rumble, and that being Chyna. That was a pretty cool moment. But the Royal Rumble match didn't make sense for me. The Royal Rumble match didn't make sense for 2016 because the title was defended at the Royal Rumble match. Well, that they didn't have anybody as a number one contender at the time, Ace, and they said because wasn't Roman Reigns hurt at the time?
2016?
No, because Triple H won the title. It was them trying to build this story of trying to get Roman Reigns over with the Authority. That's why he defended the title at the Royal Rumble. In the Royal Rumble match. And wasn't he like number 1 or something like that?
Yep. That's the year AJ came in at number 3.
And then he was Roman Reigns was the last one eliminated, wasn't he?
No, it was Ambrose.
Okay. And then Triple H. Actually, that was actually a really good match. That Royal Rumble was pretty good. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, Ace, because it actually told a story. It stemmed from a story because they went from Roman Reigns to Dean Ambrose, and didn't he like have to wrestle Triple H twice or something like
I
that?
think so.
And then they had Roman Reigns won it at WrestleMania 32 or whatever. What's up, basement? So, I mean, the first Royal Rumble was in 1988, and we've discussed that was not even a pay-per-view. It was on the USA Network for free, the whole thing. And Bruce Pritchard and Pat Patterson are the brain trust behind it. They gave Vince the idea to do the match, and the match was essentially a battle royal. And Vince is like, I don't want battle royal. It doesn't. So then they're like, well, let's do this. Every 90 seconds, somebody comes out. It's like a reverse battle royal is essentially what it is. And that was what they pitched, and it worked. And look at where it's at today. The winner of that match gets a shot at the title at WrestleMania. Now, one thing I really wish WWE would stop doing, because it wasn't the main event last year, is saying they get a shot at a main event title shot at WrestleMania. Is it really? Is it really? Because it wasn't last year.
I would change too.
What's that again, Johnny?
I said that's the one thing I would change too. It's like, if it's not going to be the actual main event, then stop doing it.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. They should just say it should be whoever wins the Royal Rumble gets a shot at the title.
You have one new voice message. New message.
Hey man, that guild is amazing.
Message marked for deletion. There are.
What?
I didn't say anything. We're just waiting on you to finish your voice messages.
I thought I muted my mic. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. We heard, hey man, you might want to what? Poor basement. Yeah, so I mean that's where it fails with me, is I always say and getting the main eventing WrestleMania. Yeah, you're not main eventing WrestleMania because it's what was Shinsuke and AJ's night? Wasn't it like the middle of the fucking card?
Yeah, something like that.
Wasn't it like the 8th match out of like 13 or 14 or something like that? So, anybody else got any other memories they want to talk about? Or anything that they want to talk about? Besides Bobbitt coughing?
Sorry, I'm sick.
It's alright. Trek?
It's kind of a lamer match, I guess, but I like when Roddy Piper beat the Mountie for the Intercontinental title.
Actually, that moment was talked about. That's talked about a lot because everybody said, well, the guy won a title. Okay. But it's not the WWE title, so why?
Right.
The Intercontinental title is a completely different animal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bobbitt, about you? Any other memories or
Not
anything? you
really,
wanna-
like the Rumble to me is not as special as Mania is.
Yeah. No, I get it. What about you, Johnny?
Like I said, I mean, it's kind of disappointing because we had touted that this is what we were going to be talking about, but I hate to say it, Royal Rumble's kind of one of those you're like, eh.
Yeah, I mean the finish to the match is pretty exciting at times. Usually pretty good, and then it's one of the big four, one of the big five, because I don't know why they even consider Money in the Bank one of the big five. So yeah, I mean,
Well, I think the reason why it's always so hard is Royal Rumble is essentially the set-up pay-per-view. It sets up WrestleMania.
yes, and it sets up feuds. It should be like the pay-per-view. The match itself should set up other feuds and tease
Right.
feuds. Because you got 30 guys in the fucking ring, and it's every man for himself. So, yeah. Are you doing your show tonight?
No. She's being too much of a pain.
Yeah, she is. So that being said, I mean, I know Basement. I don't know if he was gonna try to call in or not, but he's having computer issues.
Basement, I love you.
Finish this off. Maybe you go to sleep.
Maybe.
Nope.
Jesus, she is being a shit right now.
She is just fussy beyond all fussiness.
I guess. With that being said, I think we're going to end it here. Just keep in mind that tomorrow night we will be giving our predictions on Bobbitt's channel for the Royal Rumble. We'll probably do NXT predictions, but I really don't fucking care.
Why? We're not streaming it. So
Yeah,
why the prediction?
I'm not even going to fucking talk about it. I mean, we'll talk about it, but...
Well, I don't want to talk about it. We'll talk about it, but I'm
I'm talking
don't
about
forget-
giving predictions and shit. We'll talk about it, but
Rumble Bobs is tomorrow.
I was getting there.
Yep.
Let me get there. Can I get there first?
Go, you, go.
Fucking dumbass. Don't forget, Bobbit. Rumble Bobs is tomorrow night. So, Rumble Bobs is tomorrow night. And then Saturday, I'm not doing shit. I'm going to watch TakeOver, but I'm not going to stream it, because I don't care. And then Sunday, Royal Rumble will be over on Heather's channel. What time are you starting? Are you going to do the pre-show too?
That'll be way too much on all of us, I think. I'm gonna talk to Gina and see if she wants to start like a half hour after pre-show starts. Maybe get
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay. Well, we'll let you know when that starts tomorrow. You know what I mean. Don't say you guys are starting it tomorrow. No, dumbass. We are. I will let you know tomorrow what time we are starting, or Heather is starting on Sunday. Jackasses. Because I know you gotta fucking be specific. Talking to people. That being said, y'all have a great night. And then next week, we're going to get back on. We'll move past Royal Rumble. We will be talking about Ric Flair and versus Dusty Rhodes and their rivalry on next week. So read up on Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, and that's not a homework assignment. Just watch the rivalries thing on WWE Network. And go watch go watch their matches. Starrcade 84, 85, and I think 86. If I remember correctly. They wrestled 3 times. 84 and 85. So Starrcade 84 and 85. And I'm pretty sure they wrestled again. I can't find the Great American Bash that them two were in, though. That's the only thing. Where Dusty Rhodes finally wins the title legitimately from Ric Flair. That being said, we'll see you all tomorrow at 6:30 my time, 7:30 Eastern time. And for Trek, we will, hopefully you won't be on the show because you have to work. So, I'm kidding, man. So get your predictions ready, and we'll talk about that tomorrow night. You guys have a great night.